Good evening. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory. We are tracking a few scattered storms tonight, then moving through the next couple of days. Wednesday and Thursday will be just kind of typical mid-August weather, but then we really crank up the heat and the humidity for the weekend. But let's start with those thunderstorms. They've been very scattered. We had some earlier in the day as well. It's been kind of on and off. We even had a few showers and storms early this morning. Some of you may have heard that brief heavy rain around 6 a.m. or so. Then we've had just very hit or miss showers and storms all afternoon and evening. Most of that rain is starting to move east of I-69 now, though. We've got one thunderstorm still producing some heavy rain and quite a bit of lightning sort of right on I-64 there where Warwick, Spencer, Pike, and Du Bois counties all meet. And then we've got a line of showers that kind of stretches down and around through western Kentucky, producing some lightning in parts of Hopkins and Muhlenberg counties as well. There is a little bit of heavy rain and some lightning still left in northern Vanderburgh County too, kind of trailing on the back end of that thunderstorm. So we've got kind of two sort of waves of thunderstorms rolling through here right now, but all of it is moving to the east. So it is still expected to push out of the tri-state over the next 2 or 3 hours. I still think we're going to be dry by midnight tonight. Now, as we go through the overnight hours and into early tomorrow morning, the models are hinting at the possibility of a couple more spotty showers popping up. I think it would be very light, very isolated. Most of us will probably stay dry, but a stray shower can't be ruled out Wednesday morning. I think we'll probably get some sunshine through the middle of the day on Wednesday. Then as we get into the afternoon, again, we have that just very isolated chance a stray shower or thunderstorm could pop up through Wednesday afternoon or evening. Then that rain tapers off as we head into Wednesday night. Thursday looks mostly sunny, but much like Wednesday, we've got a very stray chance of maybe a shower first thing in the morning with another chance as we get into the afternoon, and then any rain we see tapering off then as we head into Thursday night. We're not expecting any more severe weather. We have had a couple of very isolated severe thunderstorm warnings this afternoon and again earlier this evening. Any remaining rain we see through the rest of the night will most likely be just general run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. So maybe some heavy rain and lightning, but we're not really expecting severe weather. And same story as we get into Wednesday there. A chance of some just general run-of-the-mill storms, but severe storms not expected. And even the thunderstorm threat starts to pull back out of the tri-state by Thursday. As for our temperatures, we topped out in the low 90s this afternoon. But now we're ranging anywhere from the low 70s to low 80s, just depending on your location. The way those two different bands of rain move through, to my knowledge, it never actually rained in Henderson. It didn't rain at my house anyway, and so they're still sitting at 80 there, 74 right now in Evansville and Mount Carmel, Grayville at 71, Greenville at 78. So our temperature is kind of all over the place, just depending on whether or not you get in on that rain. As we go through the rest of tonight, though, we're all going to drop back through the 70s and bottom out somewhere in the lower 70s by the end of the night. One thing to keep in mind is the rain that we have had this evening. As all that kind of starts to evaporate and temperatures begin to drop, it is possible we'll see some areas of fog developing late tonight into early Wednesday morning. But I think once the sun gets overhead, any fog we see will burn away pretty quickly through the first part of the day on Wednesday. Then we have kind of a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day Wednesday. Again, a stray shower possible maybe early in the morning or later in the afternoon, but it's all going to be very isolated. I really think many of us are going to stay dry. Temperatures will climb out of the 70s and through the 80s, eventually topping out somewhere in the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees tomorrow afternoon. It will still be a little on the humid side though, so when you factor in that humidity, it's going to feel like the mid to upper 90s. And Thursday, actually, in my opinion, looks like the nicest day of the week. We've got a very isolated chance of rain, but I think we'll probably stay dry. And we see a very slight dip in the humidity on Thursday. So highs will be in the upper 80s to around 90 on Thursday, but the heat index only a few degrees warmer than that, feeling like the low to mid 90s. But then the heat and the humidity humidity ramp up as we go through the weekend. Look at this, Saturday, Sunday, we're talking about a heat index as high as 100 to 105, and the actual temperatures will be in the mid-90s. So whether you're factoring the humidity in or not, it's going to be really hot as we go through this weekend with lots of blue skies and sunshine out there as well. Taking a check-in of the comments. William says only 0.38 inches of rain by Bossy Field. Everything pretty much missed us. Yeah, that rain's been real scattered. So some of you got a very heavy rain and quite a bit of it. Others saw barely a drop all day. Like I said, I don't think it rained at all today in Henderson. Jeff Miller, 0.45 inches of rain in Savah. We always appreciate your reports, Jeff. Thank you. Nancy says they didn't get any rain in Ellery, Illinois. And Lenny says they didn't get much in Whitesville, Kentucky either. So yeah, there are definitely some locations today that got heavy rain and thunderstorms, but there are a lot of other places that got little to nothing. And that's just going to be how it goes when you have these scattered thunderstorms like this. And the rain will actually be even more isolated tomorrow and Thursday. So there is still a chance that you could get in on some of the rain, but I really think a majority of the tri-state will end up staying dry through most of the day Wednesday and Thursday, and then especially over the weekend. Into next week, you'll notice still hot and humid through Monday, but by Tuesday, the temperatures start to trend back down a little bit. If we look at the extended outlook from Wednesday, August 20th up through the 26th, shows a trend back toward average temperatures. So that would, for this time of year, most likely mean we dip back into the upper 80s. It's also showing a trend toward near or slightly below average precipitation. So I know we actually need some rain. We had a lot of rain this year, but most of it fell earlier in the year. We haven't had a lot of rain recently in the past couple of weeks, and what we have had has been like what we got today, where it's been very scattered. Some folks got rain, others did not. And it looks like the trend moving forward through the next couple of weeks is still showing that any chance of rain we have will most likely be pretty isolated. So many of us may stay dry through the next week or two even. I also want to give a quick check-in on the tropics. We have been tracking Tropical Storm Erin out in the Atlantic with winds of 45 miles an hour right now. That storm is expected to strengthen as it moves through the Atlantic over the next few days, becoming a Category 1 hurricane most likely Thursday night into Friday morning, then continuing to intensify, expected to become a major hurricane, a Category 3, over the weekend by Sunday. Now, right now, you know, if you just looked at that straight ahead, it looks like it's kind of headed straight for the U.S., right? But I want to give you a look at what the models are depicting for beyond this. So this is the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, and you can see all the models are pretty well in line with that official forecast. So there's a lot of confidence over what that storm's most likely going to do over the next few days. Now beyond that, the models pretty consistently show it turning northward. So most likely this is going to come up, kind of brush right along the northern edge of the Caribbean here, and then start to turn north and maybe even turn around and make its way back out to sea. So right now, you know, we're talking about something that's a week and a half away, but right now the trend seems to be that that storm will most likely turn north and then maybe even turn back out into the ocean and will more than likely miss the U.S. So, you know, along the East Coast, a hurricane, especially a major one, would definitely lead to some choppy waters and things like that. But as of right now, we're not anticipating a landfall in the U.S., but it is something we will continue to monitor very closely. For any of you who may have missed it, that was Tropical Storm Erin that we're talking about. If we get another named storm after this, it would be Fernan, and after that, Gabrielle, and you work your way on down the list from there. I do think we will check off at least a few more of these names before the season is over, because we're actually just now getting into what would be considered sort of peak hurricane season. Hurricane season lasts from May through November, but you can definitely tell there's a serious spike here in the middle from about August to October, maybe through November. That's where you really see this big spike. So as we go through the month of August, usually you see tropical activity quickly increasing, hitting its peak during the month of September, and then trending back down as we go through October toward November. So I anticipate that through the next few weeks, if history is any indication, we will most likely be talking more and more about what's brewing in the tropics, and we'll probably tick off a few more of those names in the coming weeks as well. But as of right now, we are not anticipating any direct impacts to the U.S. and certainly not to us here at home from Tropical Storm Erin. We've just got a few isolated showers and storms over the next couple of days. Kind of warm and muggy, but not miserably so. Kind of just typical mid-August weather, highs in the upper 80s to around 90, heat index in the mid 90s, but then that heat and humidity cranks up over the weekend. Lots of sunshine, but highs in the mid 90s, heat index as high as 100 to 105. So I know a lot of folks, went back to school last week or this week, and I think when school starts back in our minds, a lot of people kind of switch into fall, but it is still very much so summer. In fact, August is oftentimes, July and August are oftentimes the hottest, most humid months of the entire year. So it is definitely still summer in the tri-state, and if nothing else, this weekend will be a sharp reminder of that. It doesn't look like this heat is going to last forever, though. You'll remember we had that lengthy heat wave of a couple weeks in July. Nothing like that. This heat's going to crank up over the weekend, but I think by early to middle of next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, those temperatures will start to drop back into the upper 80s to low 90s, which is really closer to where we should be for this time of year. I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope everybody will join us tonight for 14 News at 10. If you are trying to view us over YouTube TV or Hulu Live, though, we have been having some trouble. Our engineers are working on it. We're having some trouble getting our signal out over YouTube TV and Hulu Live, just those two streaming services specifically. So if you are a streamer who is trying to watch 14 News and you're having trouble, it's showing maybe New York or NBC News there, just watch us on the 14 News app. We'll still be on there, so you can still catch 14 News at 10 by using any of the other streaming platforms, 14news.com, the 14 News app, anything like that. So I hope you'll join us for 14 News tonight at 10, and everybody have a great rest of your night.